can hear you.
You can hear me? You good?
Yeah, I'm on two different devices so that I can go, so I can be mobile.
Okay. You say what? Again, what you say, Nova?
I said I'm on two different devices so I can stay mobile.
Islam. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's get started.
All right. Here we go. I'm gonna start the commercial. Hold on, banner. I should already be set up. All right. Here we go. Speaking heart, reaching knowledge, leaking seeds, sowing harvest, reaping man of me and me. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I must leave, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' rule it or you don't really. It ain't no in between, baby. Looking at the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not around the
Peace. How you doing, Nova?
Great.
Yep. We're gonna give it a couple of minutes before we get started. About like 2 minutes for everybody. And it's gonna be we're gonna have a good conversation today. We're gonna have a good conversation on nationality is the order of the day. And we're just gonna have a good conversation about what do we understand about that and what some of the misnomers, and just have a little quick conversation, not too long, and we out of here. So let me get my water and we'll get started. Yep, Islam, peace to everybody. Man, we had an amazing workout this morning, man. I'm still on 10.
Always.
I'm still on 10 for that workout. So we got 2 more minutes. We're going to jump right into it.
As long as we're able to.
Yep, we're going to get right into this good teaching today. Excuse me. All right. I hope everybody having a good day today. Today is our History, Civics, Adapt class, to where we like to share some wisdom with our brothers and sisters. First off, I'll give our Moorish American prayer. I don't know if our Nobi Malik is available, but I'll give it real fast. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation. By night and day, through his holy prophet, Nobi Ali. Shalom alaikum. Ayah, peace. All that good stuff. Whatever name that you want to give glory to, it's all right with me. It's all right with me. But I always talk about who we are and sharing history with our brothers and sisters. And like I said, it's not going to be too long. What's going on with us today is we still don't know who we are as a people. With all this information, with all this education, and we still confused who we are historically, spiritually, financially. We still on the lower totem pole. So I just opened this cipher with nationality is the order of every day. No matter what your so-called religious background is, I hope my brothers have a clear understanding because as a people, we still losing.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not even about being like trying to change nobody or being mad at nobody. Like we always say, nationality is the order for every day. And if you know who you are and you understand your spirituality, you will move past the, how can I say, the psychosis, yeah, and the dogma of that black stuff. I love all my brothers, even my brothers in New York, that's chairs of the Black Lives Matters movement. And these brothers say they educated. But clearly, if you really sit down and have a real honest conversation with some real people that can say your mission might be valid, but the way you presenting your mission and the vernacular that you're using for your mission is going to keep you subjugated. You're never going
Let's
to
just
get.
say modern understanding, right?
You say
Not
what?
ancient. They have a modern understanding. And modern, the language changes doesn't mean that the ancient language is not still standing.
Can you elaborate on that?
The ancient meaning like what we wrote, what would they call us in the first century? They didn't call us black, right?
Yep.
So go back to ancient understanding because it never changed. It's just we have adopted new things along the way. Because if you're adopted, those parents that adopted you are not your original parents.
Uh-oh.
So therefore, you have a different name, different genealogy than those adopted parents. So fine, everybody goes, whoever's been adopted in their life always wants to go find who their original parents are because that's what they connect. So right now, being black, that's why there's such a disconnect because we're not black. So we're going back and showing everybody we can go back and trace who we are from a knowledgeable understanding. So that we have a clear understanding of who we are. That way we'll stop calling ourselves black because black was never described as in the first century writing, not even in the second century.
So let me ask you.
So with that being
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, continue.
I said, so with that being said, we have been adopted with all these names: Black, African American, etc., Indian, Ethiopian, Mexican, right? So you got to understand who your original forefathers are, not your adopted titles. That's what they are, titles.
So let me ask you a question, and it's to anyone that's here right now, or anyone in the YouTube that's viewing us. Why do you feel that our brothers and sisters are misnomered Negro, Black, and Color, African American, are misnomered Latino, Mexican, Hispanic? Why do you think a lot of those individuals, and I'll make it specific, the misnomer Negro, Black, and Color, have a problem with the word more, or even understanding that they are more? Can anybody elaborate on that?
No, I definitely did. It's my. Oh, go ahead, Noble. No, go ahead, Great Karen. I don't want to do all the talking.
Just from my experience, it seems like the problem ain't necessarily with claiming more. It seems more of a problem of getting away from black. Like they'll understand and sit with you and talk, and then they'll lay it down, and then you ask them, like at the end of it, like, all right, so you know what I'm saying? What do you feel like you should have done? Well, you know, shit, I'm black, man. I'm a nigga. I'm African American because shit, everything we went through, I can't let all my homies, my mama black. Like the whole conversation just go out the window. It's the black. That's what we attached to.
Good one. And Drayshawn, we're definitely not saying that we hate anyone because that's not what we're saying. What Drayshawn, and this is what I want to be clear too, because Drayshawn is not saying this or he have a problem with this or that. What Drayshawn is doing and what Drayshawn is saying is he feel good of knowing who he is and his legacy is. That's for him. That has nothing to do with his love. That's for his understanding. So as a young man, when they see him and he can explain that with pride, You love whoever you want, but understanding who you are, that's our mission. As who? A people. As a people. What? All people. I mean, come on. So that's a great one, Malik. Malik, you got? Can you? Do you? What perspective have you heard, or just maybe you may, in your own mind frame, we know where we are. Why are brothers and sisters afraid of the word more, or understanding that?
Because first of all, people haven't heard it until recent times. I'm gonna say within the last 10, 15 years, right? People started learning maybe about Moors in Spain and things of that nature. But the funny thing is, ironically, if you go ask any ancient, aka Indian person, right, or go look up documentation in any state where the indigenous people have rights, right, look at what they called them. The paperwork is on there. The name Moor is on there.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is that where did the Moors, once they left Spain, where did they go? Because we could give a very good, clear understanding.
What you just say? No, reverse what you just said, because you just said something my dad just said. Where did the Moors go?
Where the Moors left Spain, where did they go? Where did the Mali Empire go? Because after the name for Moors, Mali Empire, they're Moors. Where did they go? Because they had two different groups that split up. You had Mansa Musa and Abu Bakari, right? Mansa Musa left. Abu Bakari stayed and went towards Egypt. Mansa Musa got on a ship and went west. But there are already people where he went west. What were the name of the people when he went west? Like, it just didn't start when Europeans started colonizing. They had a whole history collectively way before that predates Africa. Pyramids. You can look all this stuff up. Go look up the oldest DNA man found in the Americas. His name is Albert Berry. I mean, you can go that's why they won't let you into the Grand Canyon, because they're hiding all the secrets from that predate ancient Egypt.
Yep, they won't let the average person they used to. I went into academia, when I got, our second year, you have to have a 4.0 in all your classes, and they took a lot of the graduates that was getting our degrees in religious studies and linguistics. I got pictures, I got news clippings and of all that stuff. So I agree. Like I said, Malik White, what's our issue of when we let our people that look like us, or when somebody say, "Oh, you hating," or you can't say nothing, or it's throwing shade, or it's throwing shade. Why can't a brother like you be on a panel with these people that say, "Well, let's have a discussion about Black Lives Matter and reparations"?
Now,
so
from my understanding, it's very simple. Is you have been educated by people who don't want you to know your history. So therefore, they've done everything, and we also assimilated to everything that they have put out there instead of search and claim to our own. Our own vine and fig tree, we have one. It's not since 1787 or, you know what I mean?
Or 1619, how they try to teach your kids this. A lot of our kids going to be taught some 1619, which is fake history.
So let me ask, how come if we're doing true integration, right? Why didn't some Europeans, or colonizers' kids go to our schools and then vice versa? Why did we all assimilate to theirs and then got rid of ours? So that means we got rid of everything that was culturally to our advantage. We assimilated to theirs. They didn't send none of their kids to our school. And I ain't talking about HBCUs, because most of them are ran by them.
Yep.
Islam. Hey, so can I share something real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a story I heard told by a Sufi sheikh named Sufi Ba. He told a story about the cats that went to school with the dogs. When Malik was saying that, it just reminded me of it. Like the cats seeing that the dogs had a school in the woods. The cats wanted to go to the dog school, but they couldn't.
You ever heard about zebra and giraffe analogy? That's what that is. And I ain't never heard it, but I already know where you're going with it.
Yeah, they wanted to go to the dog school, but the dog was like, "Nah, you can't. You're not a dog." And they kept asking. Finally, they was like marching and all this whatnot. And then finally, it was like, we let y'all come to the school. So they go to school. They learn dog mathematics, dog algebra, dog astrology. And then when they walk across the stage, a dog go across the stage, he bark, get his diploma. A dog go across the stage, he bark, get his diploma. A cat go across the stage, it bark, and get his diploma. And it's like, you forgot who you was. You up here barking like a dog and you a cat.
Come on.
You're not even supposed to be over here.
Come on.
That's how the story went. It's just, you lose your identity trying to, you know what I'm saying, be something, be included in something that you don't even need to be included in. You got your own.
You see? And we're not, and like I said, this is no prejudice to anything. This is history. It's written. So once again, Peace Noble, our other noble here, Dantes. The question was cast out to us, because see, the issue that a person will have with not knowing who you are or who she is no one else's mission. That's your mission. That ain't nobody. Yes, peace. No, that ain't to be looking at nobody like, oh, you didn't teach me nothing and all this. That ain't for that. That ain't for you to be looking at that. What we supposed to do? Our parents got us to this level, and I'll be talking to adults. Why at this level that we are with all this information, access to information, can look up things with the touch of a finger. Why are we afraid to be who we are as Moorish Americans, Noble Dantes? And in the same breath, we talk about reparations. And that's my whole question I have to any panel of misnomer black people. If we sat on a panel and had a intellectual conversation, all of us and all so-called graduates of African American education, civics, all the so-called Greek fraternities, the so-called misnomer black fraternities, the so-called Masons, the so-called black everything, and have a conversation with a so-called referee with no biasness or no affiliation to either or, and just come with the truth like it's a court.
I'll give you a few examples, Steve, to answer that question, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of them who do know, they have been taken the oath to not tell. They won't even tell their own sons, right? Because that's the oath that they took, and we're not supposed to take oaths according to the Bible for all our Christians. And most of these people, you know, they study out of the Bible, right? Yep. And the other one is the ones that have or want to be awoke. They've been so misled and have been traumatized by the lessons. When they start, you know, getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that, they stay so distant because of the trauma that they've been through and the lies that they've been told. It's hard. It's kind of like being like a dog, right? When you abuse a dog so much and they got him in the kennel, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to take a lot of treatment, right? And I don't want to compare people to dogs, but it's just an analogy that people can understand when it comes to abuse and trauma, right? Mm-hmm. So once that dog has been abused and trauma, it's going to take a lot of care to get that dog to understand that you're not going to hurt him or her, right? So it's going to take a lot to heal our people. And we're here patiently passing our net out, right? Not like fish, but to gather us in a group, in a school, to collectively come together culturally without no biasness, because we love all religions, so-called, and we love all spiritual books. So we got to come together because they actually all connect, right? It's a big puzzle, and all we got to do is put the puzzle. Once we put the puzzle together, it's going to be such a beautiful picture that you can be able to paint. You start pointing out all the beautiful things and how we all connect on a humankind level.
Islam,
we must agree on something. We must agree on something. You have no, but you must agree on something.
I'll tell you one thing we can agree on. First and foremost, scientifically, we human beings. That's it. So we're a form of humanity.
But Malik, you just said a point. Like you always be like, I don't know, the word you just said was so powerful. You just said something powerful, so I got to stop you. Like Malik, you just said human beings. A lot of us don't know we human beings. So a lot of us don't know nothing about no human rights. Because you see? Because all this is so simple. How we can just go to the Declaration of what? Human rights. And be done with everything. We can go with one constitutional law. With one, and it can springboard a whole bunch of other questions. That's why I say this is so simple. You said, one little law that's universal, that's unbiasedness, can springboard so much. the Declaration of Human Rights. So we have to know that we are human. You can't be black. And I agree with you, Malik. To be human, you can't be Negro, black, or African American. Why? Because those are not humans.
Civil rights. Those are under civil, colorable laws, civil rights. Stop fighting for that. That gives you no power in law. What it does is it puts you under an auspice of slavery.
You see? And that's the importance of, you see how easy and simple you said that this not coming from spite from no one or telling no one they're not worthy of righteousness. We just broke that down yesterday, Friday I did, can water wash away sin? And I broke it down and I said, hell no, it'll be blasphemy of the Holy Spirit for the Christian to say. Why? Because if John baptized in physical water, right, and he said someone will come greater than I, and John baptized everybody in physical water, what's the use of so-called Jesus dying on the cross?
Oh no. But calling us black is anti-Semitic.
See? That's what I'm saying. You see, that's what I'm trying to put in our minds to clear things up. To get away of the pageantry, to get away of those things that's meaningless, and deal with some things that we, as a people, like you said, have to agree with, Dantes. We have to agree with what? Who we are.
You know what else calling themselves black?
Because y'all be the original Jews, but they're just Jewish. That means they study the customs of the Jews.
Noble. Now, we can get so technical. Like, you have to even question the so-called Jew thing when we talk about tribe of Judah. Because when we talk about in the biblical scriptures, we talk about the 12 sons of Joseph. We talk about all these Amalekites, all these different so-called people. So when they say Jews, Jew what? Tribe of Judah? What we saying? We talking about the Chaldean, the Canaanites? What we talking about? So, this what I be saying, y'all. We have to agree to something like Dante said. Why we can't agree to it in modern terms today? We say we Moors, and then you let people say, well, this is more, this is that. No, that's not. You are a Moor. What is your nationality? Moorish American. What is your race? We understand Asiatic. We are Asiatic. We choose it. What's our status? Free white. Free white. This is
going into trauma, right? When you have all of it's like going through an abuse, like several different stages. First, you was called Negro, right?
Yes.
Because black is black. First, you was called Negro. Then you was called African American. Mm-hmm. Then you was called what's another one?
Balalian. Then you was called Ethiopian. It's in your exhumed of the nation.
Was black, right? So all of those are traumatized at times by throwing you off your blood trails of who you are as a culture and a people, yes. Right? So we've been through we call generational trauma when it comes to who we are. And black is the last one, but now that's not a normal. That's actually an adjective.
We are stuck. We are stuck in a psychosis, in a situation where any one of our brothers, one of y'all, can sit on any panel at any university and have this discussion. This is too simple. So once again, brothers and sisters, when we talk to people in our regular life, because we have to talk to us, we have family members that we may talk to and everything, and out of their mouth, after you done talk to them, they'll say, well, we black. Like we don't even have those discussions. Well, what I'm saying is, the reason why a lot of things is messed up and the shift haven't happened yet, y'all, is because we are afraid to say who we are. And it's so simple. You have to proclaim, declare. That's out of your mouth. And it's so simple as that, family. When I tell people, like, why do we hold on to this thing of black, and everything that's attached to black is negative?
The other part of this too is everybody think we're Muslims. right? We're not Muslims, we're Muslims, and that's acronym for study. But you got to come to class. We're not going to give you all the answers. You got to be willing to study and willing to understand. Because giving you all the answers ain't going to make you know something. You got to come study. You can't just go to a math class and the teacher put a problem on the board. You magically know how that problem is supposed to, like when you first go to school, right? And you put a math problem on the board, you don't even know what 1 + 1 is. Because you go the first time in math class. So don't think they're going to do multiplication or addition or division without being taught the proper manifestations of how to do mathematics.
And then
in the world of self-defense, like home defense, is, in Texas, we kind of big on that. We have this saying, you don't rise to your expectation, you fall to your level of training and understanding.
absolutely.
You ain't gonna just come into court and think, well, this is how I feel, so this was no, bro. You're gonna have to get some understanding and come in here and actually be able to plead your case.
That's wisdom. That's
Plead
wisdom.
your case off of fact or feelings.
That's wisdom. But see, that's wisdom.
So listen, which comes first alphabetically, facts or feelings?
If you don't understand what acting outside of the parameters of the law is all about, then how will you really know that identifying as Black or African American is what's wrong about that? If you don't understand what acting outside the parameters of the law is.
That's what I was
like you're African American. So to you it's like that. I mean that. But you have to know what that means.
Right.
I tried to explain that to my dad like a couple days ago. I told him, like, all right, we was talking about everything that's going on with the floods and Trump and laws being passed and whatnot. And the 14th Amendment came up. And so that opened the door for me to, try to share a little bit. And so I proceeded to explain, in that 14th Amendment, they talked about the 3/5 clause, if I'm not mistaken. That's in the 14th Amendment. That got turned up so they did away with that. And in those 3/5, we know what it takes to be counted as a actual person.
Or a human.
That's one. And you ain't got your original violent history, your spirituality. That's two. What you think they're going to do with you? How do you fall? How are you going to lie? How are you going to correct yourself? Oh, well, I mean, you grew up, everybody Black, Negro. And I was like, well, because I looked at our birth certificates and everything. His mama birth certificate don't say Black. It say Negro.
Yeah.
He didn't say Black, and mine said African American. What the hell are we?
That's a beautiful. That is so beautiful, well said. Because now Malik almost said it in his teachings. Because in different times, different words were used to describe the same thing. Look at the different time periods. They all synonymous to the same thing. So whatever we can use that's agreed upon at that time, we're going to use. And it's in your Exhibit of the Nation. Remember Delegate Rawlings? Oh, we're going to call them this month. Oh, and then next month we're going to call them this month. And then next month we're going to call them this month. And then the next month we're going to call them this month. You see what?
Asiatic, Berbers.
Yeah. I think that's page 39 of your Exhibit of the Nation. When it's coming from that news clip of Delegate Rawlings. And this is what I be telling us, y'all. We're not talking about nothing new, Dantes. Everything we can talk about, we can sit down with any panel, any so-called, no disrespect, Black professors and lower the free riders and all this, and with a person unbiased that'll judge it from the facts, from the evidence, and they will have to look back at the other party like, man, y'all know better than this to be coming to these men like this. Why would you even come like that? Because I would. Think about this now. When I say that energy need to be reversed, y'all, like I can say about so much that's played in the mental of brothers and sisters like you and I, Dante, especially when we come with wisdom. They try to play this color hate thing. Man, did you see that crap Lamar sent us in the text stream about what them brothers doing no more? Did y'all look at that? Dantes.
Yeah, I see that.
Dantes.
To look at it.
That's what I was saying. Dantes cracking up.
I wasn't sure if it was AI or not, or if it
I was confused. But then in my hippocampus, I talk about the wrong message and things that's not going the right way. But to keep it all in a perfect perspective on that academic level, on that scholarship level, as what we're doing, this can't be denied. No professor, no PhD that talk that civil rights or want something liberation for the misnomer black man, and they say they want a civil rights and I mean not civil rights but reparations. I would ask them nobles, how would you get reparations identifying as a Negro, black, and color, and an African American?
What do you think of what you call it, the rainbow?
I ask y'all, that question is to whoever want to answer it.
They think there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
You say what?
I said they think there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Dark, but not dark.
The rabbit. Tricks or the keys.
Hello.
So, this the only conversation that I wanted to have today with brothers and sisters to be like, okay, well wait a minute. We can have a open conversation from nobody being upset and just put it out there, for people can challenge certain things that they were told. For you can research some things. Here it is. We may have said one thing that you may not have never heard in your life, and that's the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. You should really take a hard look at that, my brothers and sisters, all my brothers and sisters from the North American misnomer Negro, black, and colored, and misnomer African American. You should take the time out of your day, no matter what religion you are, and look at the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. Just for a second. Research the House Joint Resolution 75. That was agreed on in 1933, where you have the right to annex your L, your bay, your day to your name.
And when you look at it, ask yourself, why would they need to come up with something like this?
Why in almost a lot of states where we're at, where Noble Drew Ali established more science temples in 2012, you can see all the mayors that signed the proclamation declaration saying that we are Moorish Americans and having Moorish American Week. Why? Why would all mayors agree to that? All different nationalities, because it's just what it is. We're not saying it's not a group of people or groups of people that may be taking things wrong and doing it prematurely. Some may know exactly what they're doing. Some may not, and they both go to get in trouble together. But the fact, what we're saying is, the science that we teach that should be spread should be something to bring people together. The mental, the understanding, the divine, getting your mind, your body, your family right first, and then understanding what community is, culture, and then we talk about living a certain way. As my Amish brother Khalid would talk about, he said a lot of this stuff that you see is just the culture that come from what we've got from you. You know, and when he say get from you, he say these are the things that communities do. That communities do. And so that's all I really wanted to talk about today, man, is I hope we get to an understanding where we can have this conversation on an academia level, especially for our youth that may be going to school for African American studies. Or they say they hardcore Black Lives Matter. You know, I hear a lot of feedback. But I would hope our brothers and sisters really have those conversations with their families. Come on here. You know what I mean? We welcome anybody on here to have those conversations with us from a scholastic perspective. No arguing. No like, well, what if this? No, what else? But have an intellectual conversation with a group of brothers that'll talk to you and share things and on all levels of understanding, especially spirituality and history. You know, And I think it need and that's just my perspective on as we're going on, because I don't have like when people say, well, what's the key? And I say all of it's the key. But for us as a misnomer people, our nationality and our spirituality is very, very key. And it's very important for us to spread that on a national stage. Why? Because look, like you see the other law that Noble Alonzo put in the text stream, how at first they were saying church and state is separate. Now is what? It ain't now, right?
No, it's not.
You see? And so, but I already explain these things when I talk about things, just like when I talk about the Sopranos. And I ask everybody, what was the Sopranos connected to? And everybody admit they were connected to the church.
The church?
Yes.
Church.
Yes. And when we talk about how things are established, our prophet and from ayats, we say these things are set up for you to see how to do things the right way. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's what it's looking.
So that's all I'll be asking my brothers and sisters. I hope we can continue to spread this mission, and if anybody want to come on here and have that discussion with us about why this is happening and why this not happening, we don't have to say specific names, but we can clear a lot up. And I think as adults, we should clear a lot of things up going forward, especially putting things on social media. I think we should be, I think going forward with this right energy, the day of the Kiefer just passed us. We just had an astrological event, which a lot of people don't understand, but we just had it. I think this energy and this shift need to be spread the right way. I really do, because what we're speaking can't be denied. I really want us to understand what I'm saying. For a lot of our parents is older. The world is steady changing. Where are the next group of leaders, man? Y'all think about this when we talk about culture, when we talk about history. When we talk about Malik, people seeing you with a turban on, they think that's something new. They don't know that the spiritual men in the church wore the turban. Me and my dad were just talking about here. My dad, my elder. That's why I said when we learn, we can't be afraid of who we are. Why? Because everybody identified in your stuff. The misnomer Arab wore the turban. In the Bible, don't it say the followers of Yahshua wore the turban? The high priest wore the turban with the jewel on it? Don't it say that? Last time I checked, the followers of Joshua looked just like Noble Dantes with a turban on. They might have a Moorish jewel on it like I got mine on, because we all high priests. So you would see sheet like this with a turban and a jewel on his head. Huh? Or if you see Noble Dantes with his bonnet on, you see the misnomer Islam Muslim call it a kufi. Where in the biblical scriptures, we wore bonnets. The follower of Yahshua, the Jacobites. The brothers of the way. When you see Dantes in his tunic, cotton or silk with embroidery, that's what he wore. That's what the followers of Yahshua wore. That's what the order of Melchizedek wore. What you mean order of Melchizedek, Sheik? Yeah, the order of Melchizedek. That was so-called Jesus Yahshua was under what? The order of Melchizedek, a brotherhood. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, this is so simple. Everybody have the same Bible. We talk science and history. You have to love yourself. What do you think Moses taught Aaron? What do you think Moses taught everybody? The mystery systems, all the way of the Egyptians. So when we start breaking things down, when you start saying languages, just like we say, well, in this vernacular, they say this. In this vernacular, they might say Moshite. But we're talking about the same thing. You may say Isa in certain things, So when we have this scholastic and this scholarly perspective of biblical history and biblical understanding, and not getting in belief system, Noble Dantes, we can connect history, biblical history. When a person want to misplace you, You see, and be able to stand strong, because that's just the history of what everything we're talking about from a scholastic perspective. No, but Dantes, I know right now, everything that you know right now, just as your son growing up to be a young man, everything that you know now, you can embed in your young son. What if your son say, man, I want to go be a history teacher? Or your son say, I want to go teach in academia, or whatever type of endeavor he got. Look at all the wisdom he have just to push him to what? Just to get to open it up, just to get to investigating who he is, just to even to have that conversation, be like, Dad, I saw this book of Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro. I picked that mug up. Damn, Dad, I done picked all these books up. Dad, I see this picture with you and all these brothers and all these with these beards. What the hell? He won't be amazed. He'll be seeing this in his years. Why? He grew up in it. I'm trying to tell you, man, I can go deeper with this. Man, remember Khalid? Y'all remember Khalid Muhammad's son be with him on the scene. Then when he died, then you got to see the twist. But I ain't got nothing else to say after that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't going no farther with it because I want to keep everything on a positive vibration. But what I'm saying is, we have to be able to talk about this in the churches, in our schools. We have to.
Absolutely.
We have to be able to share this with people that go to church and do all this and be like, well, wait a minute. I ain't never heard this man diss the biblical scriptures. Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. This man got an education in what he said. And he divine. And he filled with the Holy Spirit. And he done been through all them lower houses. Wait a minute now. Because I tell everybody, you are the church. We all have what, Noble Dantes, in our hand? What? The same Bible, don't we?
Islam.
How can we know? How can we?
Just teaching it differently.
Come on.
You shouldn't be.
Thank you.
Teaching separation and,
Don't even line up. It don't even line up on both perspectives. From the Eurocentric perspective and from the Negrocentric perspective. It don't even line up. It don't even line up. That's why I say not one is a fallacy. Both is a fallacy. I mean, it's no disrespect. How? Just like we say all religions that act like they don't know who we are, it's some crap. No disrespect. The black Mason, the black Muslim, the black Hebrew Israelite, because all their forefathers was Moorish Zionist Jews, especially the Hebrew Israelites. They were Mordecai, Wentworth Matthews, and them, Abdullah, the one that taught Neville Goddard. The Nation of Islam had the document, the black man, the Negro. So when we talk about these things, even when I deal with a lot of when I start showing documents of so-called Christian preachers that were mystics, that a lot of our brothers don't even know about, had PhDs 3 times over, wore the turban and the fez. This what I be saying. We have, like my dad say, he like, man, this is all Malik. I mean, we have to be educated. When you say Arab, Malik is the Arab, the ARAP. I'm sorry, Malik is the ancient Arab, and without a doubt. That can't be denied what I'm saying. Malik is the ancient ARAP. From Vladimir Dale, from Bertram Thomas, from all these European scholars. Bertram Thomas, the scholar, wrote the book of the Arab, Arabia. He'll tell you who the ancient Arab is. Adara will tell you who the Indian is. The Book of Mormon will tell you who the so-called misnomer Indian is. See, so when we have
they got their book from Mormon.
Yes. So
Mormons got their book from Mormon. That's why they call it Mormon and not named it after Joseph, whatever his name is. Joseph
Smith. I mean,
wake up. If you study with the Mormons, they'll tell you that they got the Joseph Smith got the book from before.
just like my dad said, you only can write. You only
Right
can
here in the Americas, right? Right here in the Americas.
Yep. You only can write about the things who you are. That's why you ask anybody that got any sense right now, look up Amazigian. See, that's why I said we in class. We here to resurrect. I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill. My dad right here is an elder. My dad a teacher better than I. Why? Because I come in my father's voice. That's why I stand strong. I know I got a gift. Some people may call it arrogance in the misnomer black community, but that's our lower self. It should be confidence. Why? Because you know I know for sure. When I give you something, it's scholarship. I say, look up Amazigian. And then you tell
And
me.
you should want to know based off of knowledge, not how you feel about it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you say you die for reparations, if you say you, this matter, if you got a shirt on that say Black Lives Matter or some Juneteenth, okay, but if you feel that attached to it, you should want to know this to clear up some things. You got it, Dantes?
It's long.
Check this out.
Can you read it to us?
To get reparations, you would have to come together. The people have to come together in order to get reparations. It's not anything that's going to be given to you because you feel you identify as this. No, you got to come together as a people.
Yeah.
Period, point blank. It can't be one person going to get reparations. No, it has to be a collective coming together, unity. That's why nobody got reparations so far because you can't come together and agree on something.
Nope. Islam. Give us Amazigian, Dantes, if you don't mind.
The Amazigh or Amazigians, also known as the Berbers. Berbers are an indigenous ethnic group.
Hold on, but stay right there, Dantes, because you going too fast. You acting like Twister, the rapper. Yeah, you talking like me. Hey, watch this. You just said them so powerful at the beginning. You say those couple sentences again, please, my brother.
The Amazigians, also known as one of the months we were talking about earlier, the different names, the Berbers.
Okay, stop right there. Now, remember the Thomas Jefferson Quran. They called you Berber. They called you pirate. They called you Corsica. What they saw in Americas. As I break Thomas Jefferson Quran down. But back to what Nova Dantes says. Then the negative connotation. How no disrespect. The Eurocentric, the Negrocentric propaganda try to say Berber, a.k.a. barbarian. But see, Sheikh Anta Diop, our great scholar, already cleared that up. See, that's why I be telling people when you come with the games, you can't. It's going to show these things. It's going to show this history. So when you start seeing these things and hearing these words, we have to start understand the positive connotation that always they what they are, not letting nobody make up a negative connotation. Proceed, my brother.
Islam. Also known as the Berbers, the Amazigians, are an indigenous ethnic group native to North Africa, inhabiting regions like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and parts of Sahel. They have a rich history and culture with their own languages, Kazmazigians, and distant customs. The term Berber is sometimes used by many Amazigian prefer to Amazigian, so Amazighen prefer the term Amazigh or Amazigian, Amazigh, meaning free people.
Woo! Check, miggity. What? Free white people. Now they can come with the crap all they want to. A person, that's why I'll be telling us, we are delirious.
So that's the continent for them, right? Because when they're talking about Northwest Africa, aka Mexico, Pangea, they talking about when all the continents before the continental drift. So they're speaking over a lot of people's heads when they're talking about Northwest Africa. Because we are in ancient Morocco here in the Americas. So they're talking ancient terms. They ain't talking modern terms.
Well, Malik.
So let's get it clear.
Well, watch this. Yes and no. Now, you know, I love our cipher because our cipher is yes and no. So if we play in chess, you just made a chess move, right? Now I'm about to throw another simple chess move at you. I'm about to throw right back at you the SF-181 form. Because the SF-181 form is saying the thing we just talking about. It's saying the same thing. So when
free white person.
What are you talking about? Then what I'm saying.
I'm just letting people know when you're talking about a geographical area, they're sometimes referring to ancient areas. They're not referring to modern areas. So you got to go back and study, and let's see what dispensation of time they're referring to these areas.
Listen,
is what I'm saying.
On that perspective, but yes and no. All you got to do is look what's in front of your face. Now I agree with what you're saying 100%. I agree with what you're saying 100%, Malik. But the simplicity of it, like the land, what we're talking about is right here.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. We on the same level. We rocking together.
But there was something he read earlier that said from these certain dispensation of areas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't, but in certain times, yes. Those regions they were talking about, we don't know what those are in modern times.
Now,
those are some of the areas of ancient times. They're not modern times.
Okay.
So you have to do your research to clear that part up, because for some people who have not studied, that can be a little confusing.
I agree.
And it's talking about things that's going on within us. So you also just need to understand, that point too.
Mm-hmm.
The esoteric, what it's talking about, what's going on within us.
Yes.
Is really what all of it is about at the end of the day. But if we don't understand that, then you just listen to a story.
That's what I'm saying.
That comes with stuff.
It's a good
Now,
story.
listen.
That's what you're doing. You're just listening to a story.
Listen to what I'm saying about learning and action. What I'm saying about action, getting the information about action. A lot of people get a lot of knowledge. A lot of people know a lot of stuff. What I'm saying, if we down with civil rights and all that, it have to be some action behind it. How? A simple act is how we sign. This is all I be saying. Like I like to talk about real things and real events that every one of us would do. Because we can say all this stuff right here on this, like, yes, yeah. Then the person say, well, how simple is this then, brother? Well, what's the reality of what we saying? I've may heard it. Okay, I would ask you, how would you sign? On what? Anything, job, anything. How would you sign nationality? Anything? When the civics, what it called in everybody neighborhood, come on, they try to see how many people to try to give out funding in each neighborhood. What is called the census. The census. Okay, so I'm asking real questions. So say if everybody got the census or anything, a job or anything, and those same questions that's on the SF 181 form is on your job application. When it comes to nationality, I ask brothers and sisters, we can say what we want to, but in reality, how are we signing? This is what I ask everybody. And this is what I'm saying, the simplicity of these things. How are we signing? Just like if we have a child, how are we letting in, if we have a so-called birth certificate going forward today, what we know today, what will we allow to be placed on these things? If you have a child at this minute, if I have a child, if I care about these things because your parents didn't do nothing wrong. Me and my dad just talked about this a minute ago. My dad was cracking up laughing from understanding and wisdom, because we deal with wisdom in the Goodman Bay house. So when I talked about you don't have to status correct nothing, I'm my dad's son. My coat of arms is Goodman. My El Obey, just like Noble Drew Ali, annexes El Obey. What we've done is correcting. I had a lot of feedback. What we're doing is correcting a misspelling or a mistake, per se. Just like my dad was talking, you can make it so nice. Hey man, when I was in school, I didn't get this. What my sheik giving me today. And I know my dad may have a good teacher like my sheik. I'll be laughing and everything. I'm just giving it in an analogy how simple this is. Hey, ain't nothing wrong. I found out who I was. My mom and them was tripping too. They thought they Negroes too. I'm coming and I got to correct what? Misspellings. I got to correct misspellings.
You got the right to change it.
Yes.
Arbitrarily deny that right.
And so when I talk about these things and when I talk about the simplicity of operating and knowing who you are, it's more than just so-called things, because biblically and historically, this is what I talk about all through history. And like Malik said, the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. I love spirituality. I know y'all do too. Y'all under the triple rose. So we have a clear understanding of this. That's why we can't go backwards. But from understanding this, and when everybody say it's one thing that us misnomer black people should agree with, Noble Dantes, is what? Reparations. Because we all down for reparations. But I think all of us on here, you, me, Malik, all my brothers can agree that Negro, Black, and Color, and African American will never get no reparations. How about that?
Agreed.
See?
After you understand, after you learn about what that means as it relates to law, and things like that, then no, because the identifying as a black person or African American, you're so disassociating yourself with the human family.
So Dantes, if your son was going to school and say, Dad, I'm taking civics, I'm taking history class to know who we are, and your son come home with this like Dad, man, we was under this Willie Lynch, and come on with this Roots book, and he say, man, and do a big speech and say, Dad, I'm doing a speech on how we were slaves and Willie Lynch. Well, how would you interject? Would you share that wisdom, or would you let him go on and fall deep?
What I'm learning, what I'm learning is before the child even gets to that point, what you could say public education, whatever, you send them off to school.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure your child is already equipped with certain knowledge itself and different things of who they are, who they aren't, and things. So when they in school and they learn these things, like for instance, I took an AP African American history class, and they sat down. She had us watch Roots. We watched Roots like the first part of the semester. Every day we came in there, we just watch Roots.
I'm so glad you said that, yo, Dantes. Why you, Dantes? All the stuff I done said about Roots, Dantes, you never said that, man. Dantes, you.
Well, yeah, I took that class in high school.
Yeah,
that's what she did. They sit you down and they had you watch Roots for the whole semester. You take quizzes and tests.
Social condition.
Yep. Wow.
That's what we did. So your child, my point, you will want your child to already have a little blockers, basically.
Yes.
Where, okay, they telling me something that ain't got nothing to do with me, and they can say something in class, or they can come home and just tell you about their day and how they told the teacher that's not true, or whatever the case is, and they gave the teacher information that hopefully, you gave it, through just the education process. It's easier said than done, but it's home study and
yes,
what you talk to your child about.
Yes.
Once you as an adult are aware, then you have to make sure your child is as well at all times.
Dantes, Islam. That's something that my parents. That's something that my parents said. Like when you on that right level and you defending what's right in the midst of when someone trying to teach you and you already been educated, you're not being taught, you being educated, and it can come from scholarship, which it will happen. You have that right. It happened to me in academia. It happened. Remember, I shared with y'all out when I was getting my dual master's degree at GCU. It happened to me. The professor didn't like my candor. Well, who are you studying with? Well, you must study with a secret group, and you're not using the library. And I said, yeah, I'm connected with different libraries just because the person I am. When they found out, it blew their mind.
Britannica encyclopedias will help you with that.
Huh?
I said the Britannica encyclopedias will help you with that in the library. You got to know where to look.
Yep, but not only that, just being equipped. So that's what we saying here. When I'm just throwing questions back, at brothers, just say, to see how we would answer and see how things will come in the midst, because we supposed to be able to answer these things, Noble Dantes, with love. That's why I always say more science is for the family. That's why I say, hey, this is no force. This is like Noble Malik said, a lot of people don't even know or may know and may be afraid. But if these are for the ones that want to know, it's a resurrection. It's liberating. It's liberating to a young man. Look at today. All of us got our she-mags on today. Isn't it ironic that all of us got our she-mags on today, all with the same design? Look at that. I got on one. You got on yours. Malik got his on. All the same, but the same one, just different design.
It's long. Basically, same one, just different design.
Yeah. Look at the crown. Bend your head down. Look at the crown. Look, when you bend your head down, you see the crown, the design on the crown. Our design is going damn near similar. When you pull your head down in the middle, pull your head down. Oh, when Malik driving. We don't want Malik. Yeah.
No, keep your head up. Don't put your head down.
But on the real level, y'all, that I'm really thankful. Like I said, and I know this mission is a hard mission. And even with language and even words, as I'm so-called sheep, whatever you want to call it, whatever people want to call it. I don't feel higher than anyone. I'm continuing to learning. Especially how, like my dad said, words. We can't be afraid of words. We can't be afraid of, because we have a mission. We have a real mission, and our mission, no matter in the midst of this, if it's no disrespect again, bad churches or this whatever. Okay, whatever people want to call it, well, in the midst of that, it's still some right of whatever you want to call it, because the church is the people. So when people say bad churches, you mean bad people? Because you can't say the building. Thank you, Malik, because that's what I be saying. So when people say that bad churches, I say, well, bad churches, I say the church is the people. Because I'm with that. I think y'all all agree. I don't have a problem with them saying the church is the people. But you know what I mean? Other things, we have to understand that. We have a temple in school. We want you to learn this biblical history. We want you to learn this history. I don't want to just tell you it's going to be all right, because it's not going to be all right if we don't get to this level of what Malik said, being together, being a nation. The religious laws, everything that we talk about is our religious law. So we can't diss religion. As we speak in the brother, we don't have to have no book, or we don't have no script in front of us trying to sell you no script. We ain't practiced none of this. Everything that we say is what we understand, and we are holy men connected to the biblical scriptures. I tell everyone, let's have an intellectual conversation. You say what, Malik?
So, like, we're a peculiar group, right? So when you look at the Bible, for instance, right?
What you say?
Jesus had 12 disciples. I said, Jesus had 12 disciples, right?
Yeah.
And they all came from different, they came under the teachings of Yahshua, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, those men were a group of peculiar men that everybody looking in, I can't live up to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at our society, and when you look at people and leaders in the society in the way that's been taught, most of those leaders have been killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people have been instilled a lot of fear to stand up against a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at us, but we ain't been messed with in that fashion either. Like, I don't have cops messing with me like what some of these road boys be out there doing and talking about, because I'm not talking all that rhetoric either. So with that being said, people they're fearful of what might be if I start doing this. Well, I look like a radical. No, you won't, because you should be doing everything out of the first principle, which is love. So if you walk up and you're causing the conflict, it's you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So stop causing the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Be out there being a righteous, upstanding human being first and foremost. Treat people like you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. So with that being said, we have to understand these things.
Yeah, Islam.
That what we are up against, stop being fearful.
Yeah. So look,
scared man or woman can't win.
So we got a question on here on YouTube. Brother Roy Calhoun said, he said, peace to everybody. Then he said, what if you a felon and want to learn? Okay, well, so what? Everybody, well, so what? So what?
Your felony, nothing to do with no education.
I tell everybody, like it's like I tell everybody, when you do this is a beautiful explanation, because I know a lot of people that, and Malik can attest to this, a lot of brothers can attest to this. I know a lot of brothers that went to prison and learned or think they learned something and promulgate some of the wrong things. So we all might have made mistakes in our Lord self. And I hope we paid for those. Now, the mistakes that we made, I hope that we didn't violate anyone, especially, minor and things and all that. So if we made mistakes, a certain youthful discretions and all that, so be it. We all be judged by what we do, and matter if we still doing it. But to learn something, I hope people learn the right thing, as Noble Malik saying. I hope nobody don't want to get into this as a felon and think you can learn to break the law. So there's no way I can answer that. What if you a felon and want to learn? I say, what if just like if I'm a multimillionaire and you need a job per se, and you come to my office and I say, man, just fill the application out, man, I'll hire you, and you say you got a felony. So what? That maybe I put it in layman terms like that just to make it even more real. Because some people will deny you because you got a felon. Believe me, I know.
That's part of the fear, right? Because society hasn't painted a picture of certain things. That's part of the fear.
That's why you got to be better. That's why you got to be great. That's why you got to be greater than I. That's why you got to be. That's why you got to be. That's why you got to be the talent. That's why you got to be better. That's why I tell people all energy that we take, my brothers and sisters, to do anything negative and illegal, we can take that same ball of energy, take that same hustle, take that same group, split that pie, that brick, whatever you want analogy you want to call it, and do something real. We right here.
Is it like, is he asking, like, do we accept felons as students? Is that what he asking?
Well,
or is he just,
I get that, because the brother said he have been wanting to learn long time to understand. My people and my grandma told me we from here. Well, that's why I say it don't matter what we did. That's why I tell people nothing. And see, even though I get my sheik hat on and my Sufi hat on when brothers come like that, don't let. And I think who said this in workout class? Lamarck was saying it. Be the best. If you skinny, be the best skinny. Be the best you. Lived up to everything. I had to do it. I had to be proud of who I am. I had to accept all these things, all these beautiful attributes that's for me. All these beautiful attributes of you. You have to find the right one. It's just like courting your empress that you're going to have. It's that same love. It's that same tender care. And when you find a group of brothers, because we use the internet to join us, this is a frequency. You see, we using it for positive things and we getting a positive outcome. That's what it's for. That's why I say my people know my voice. That's why I say it should be easy for young brothers and for young sisters to want to gravitate to what I'm talking about. Why? Because one, I'm telling you the truth. That should be number uno, zuno. That should be so powerful to anybody that look like me. One, they be like, man, this brother been telling me the truth from what? Day one. That's why. That's why I rock with him. That's why I come to this class. That's why I support, because I want to see this happen. I'm telling you, and it should mean that much for all of us. So, young brother, Rory Calhoun, all you gotta do is get with us. All you gotta do is hit my muftis up. I have my information, my number be up there all the time. All you gotta do is get with us. Everything gets a sacrifice and a dedication. That's what I tell everybody. My mufti Lamarck was just talking about it. A lot of time people be seeing things, and the first thing we talk about, oh, well, I can't do it. I say, yeah, it look easy. Everything look easy from a distance. Everything. But everything worth happening, it's gonna be good for you. The whole brotherhood. I'm telling you, we are a brotherhood. We do things the right way. We put our money together, we do things, and we make things easy for brothers and sisters to be along, to join us privately, to be a part of our culture, to see what we're doing in real life. But it takes some small financial dedication and obligation, and we are tax exempt for the federal government, is take all that. No matter how much or how little it is. That's how you build a nation. And the religious laws trump all this. So, Brother Roy Calhoun, you definitely, I don't care what would be, because you got no felony. I give you honor saying that to everybody in public. So, because a lot of people be embarrassed to even have that come out of their mouth. So I give you honor for you even coming that to a brother like me, because you don't owe me nothing. I don't owe you nothing. That's why I be saying I be loving brothers that's real. And like I feel people's spirits. When a person that come off the top and say things like that mean they real. That's like when y'all know my name. I don't have no fictitious name like Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Mom, you need help? So that's it. Anybody got questions? Anybody got to say something? We can be out of here.
Islam. Yeah, it's just something that needs to continue to be spread, because a lot of organizations aren't spreading this message as far as nationality. A lot of folks folks are introduced to some form of religion or spirituality or some type of belief or creed, we love and truly introduced to the nationality aspect of it. And it is the order that, so, just gratitude for you, Sheik, and us, and we just have
Baby, stay there. Watch. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay
So
there.
it's just great having these conversations and continue to having these types of conversations. So those who identify as things that kind of represent slavery, in a sense, is it's not something to be identifying yourself as. So ciphers like this, and we continue to do these type of ciphers, folks will start understanding more and more the harms of identifying, and you're not a part of the human family, and what does that mean? And we just need to do more research on those things that we present in our broadcast for folks, and they go and research the researcher, and then come back and ask questions for clarity. So just Islam for another amazing Adapt class on nationality, something that needs to continue to happen for our people. Islam. I know she had to step away. Islam.
Give me a gun. Yep. Cause look, this one.
Also, congratulations, Double Dre Shine. With your
Gratitude, no win here. Preparing.
Islam.
She didn't be cocky, and I'm scrubbing everything that's going on right now.
Islam. Bit to us.
Waiting on the
Yeah, for sure. How that next day or two might go for sure. So more power to you, brother.
gratitude. Because I'm on the outlook.
It's like I already know. It's like,
yeah, I gotta remember to send this list to y'all via text stream too. I keep mentioning it, but I keep having stuff in my hands. I keep forgetting to do it.
Noble Rory Calloway said, "How do I start from square as far as reading?" We tell everybody this, brother, as we close. Come to class. It's no special book. We always tell people to read the Moorish Quran, and we have that's one of our holy books. And I have a lot of books I gathered and compiled that make a lot of stuff super plain, and a lot of questions that you may have. I answer a lot of those questions in a lot of the manuscripts that we gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. But far as me, and being honest and being a map and a guide, it's application as well. There's no book that's going to make a person just perfect. I know everybody may have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and there's still a lot of poor dads that read Rich Dad. So clearly, that would tell you it must be some application with that mental. And I'm telling you, when two or more come together, there's the Holy Spirit. There's the Creator. No matter how much or how little you have to put to this, we must put some all together in it, and we can get that big pie that we're looking for. We can be a magnanimous institution. You said, listen to this. Is there a temple of Sarah in St. Louis? Should I contact them? I don't know what you mean, a temple of Sarah. Oh, my noble Dante, ain't you in St. Louis?
Yeah, Dante.
Islam, that they're referring to the Moorish Science Temple located in the Ville area of North St. Louis. I believe temple number 5. Last time I checked, I didn't know if it was in operation or not. They were doing, but I know that they were really doing some powerful things. I know that they do own a few buildings on the street that the noble just brought up. So Islam to that and what the temple and that part of St. Louis is up to these days. I know that about 200 plus buildings in that area will be condemned by the city. So hopefully the temple that this noble is referring to is working with the city on just improving that area. That's the Moorish Science Temple located in St. Louis, the Ville area, where I remember I told you about that hospital.
Yep.
Called Homer G. Phillips.
Yes, sir.
Ancient, like just a huge palace castle. That's located in the same area.
Yes.
All right, but I think we're missing a Novo's point. He can get with you. Because you don't know about that temple. He can get with you down there.
I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting.
I don't know anything about that temple, but he's absolutely invited to what he's on right now.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that temple down there, Noble.
And that's to
but
be.
You listen to the BBT.
Yeah, and that's what and I explained like for myself, I'm from the temple as well, but like I said, I'm from academia as well. You know, I have the paperwork. It don't mean nothing. That's why I be
Bailey gloves.
That's why I be amazed when Moors that say Moorish Science Temple of America don't say the same thing I'm saying, because we have a divine creed and a nationality, and all of us have paperwork. So when people say Moorish Science Temple of America, as my dad always said, because I have to go back to my dad. When I had my metaphysical temple in Arizona. I'm from Flint. I've been in Arizona for over 14 years, and so what I'm saying about this, the teachings, what Noble Drew Ali established is correct. It's the people. So I don't never bash the institution, but I hope people be teaching right. You know, and so when you hear what I'm saying, no matter anybody doing something different than what I'm saying, you have something to compare to, and be like, well, wait a minute, it don't sound right. Why? Because you have this. You be like, why? And then a person that you're dealing with or institution that you're dealing with should always do what? Answer questions. Always give you from what? Understanding, and always be lawful, no matter how that institution feel. Because it's not about how I feel. If I'm a real teacher, I should be able to teach everyone. What? History, law, civics. I should be able to teach everything from that perspective, especially a brotherhood, especially making our brothers men better. That's what this is about. I don't have no special wand, no rabbit foot where I'm gonna tell you to buy, and you pray over it 3 times in one night, and you wake up and you can cross your feet, have your feet out like a dark green duck, and you gonna stand in front of the judges, and all the criminal behavior that a Negro do, you think it's gonna disappear. If you think that's what this is, I'm telling you, you're wrong. Not saying you're doing that. If you think this on Roger Elvick, sovereign citizen, Negro militia stuff, I'm telling you, I talk about that. That's craziness. So if anybody doing these things, or if any language that you hear, that should put radars in your hippocampus that's criminal behavior. And Sheikh Khari Goodman Bey has spoken on these things as a brother that loved me. Get some damn more science. We talk about real life. Because the Moorish Science Temple of America was never established to be no Islamic sect or no government or organization. It was supposed to be a school.
A school of thought.
It was supposed to be a school of thought.
Order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy.
Yes, knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, nature, school of thought. Just like when I talk about IDMR, a lot of things, a school of thought. So when I say these things, we can't be connected to things that's not making you think. But the people is the church. So, brother, this is what I be saying, no disrespect, when I meet my brothers and sisters, and I go back to my Noble Malik, because this is a good conversation, and I know we got to go. We've been an hour and 18 minutes. When you're dealing with something that you want, and it's right in your face, why don't you just be like, man, I'm already here? And you know, this is what I tell people, because when you look for things, you're gonna go all the way backwards, and you can be here. Like Malik said, your cup already got to be full to recognize what you have. We just said this last week in Sunday school. He just said it. How they said they deny Yahshua, his own people. He just said it's like you have the person that got 99 degrees in your face. That's not gonna lower level you to some dead anything. That's not gonna hold nothing over you. And got all these brothers in front of you. This is what this is about. I don't diss the Moorish Science Temple of America. But I say, if nationality is the order of every single day, then those so-called Moors, those Moorish Science Temple of America, those brothers that's established, that's know what they doing, need to come from out of the temples and be seen. Need to come from out of the temples instead of acting like it ain't one temple. It ain't one wisdom. If that's the case, everything else is a fascist group. Law governs all events. That's what we be talking about here. That's why law don't have to defend itself. It's a lie. It don't need any help. You can give it to a person. If you righteous, if you looking for righteousness, you will adapt to it real quick. Why? Because what? Your higher self will attach to that. Why? Because that's what you're looking for. This is what we be saying. This is why I say I tell all my brothers and sisters what we waiting for. Noble Rory Calhoun. We don't have to wait till we go to prison. Just like one of my muftis said, Sheik, man, in prison all the brothers be listening to you. I know they should. Because we ain't separating ourselves. So with that I say to all my brothers and sisters, no matter what you're looking for, no matter what journey you on, no matter if you're looking for a brotherhood, I'm looking for y'all. And you don't have to go nowhere else. That's what I'm telling you. Whatever you looking for is right here in our face. It's right here in our face, and it look just like you. And you know, we're not stupid. We only thing what's wrong with us is we've been taught wrong. We've let other people take our science and twist it up and throw it back to us as spookism. And I'm here to remove the veil on all religious dogmas. I'm here to remove the veil on all religious dogmas and show you this is the uniting of Asia. This is what's supposed to be talked about. When we give all those misnomers back and stand on what? Everything that's principles, knowing who we are as a people, a complete fifth, powerful, using the dollars that we give to Uncle Sam and getting the tax exempt receipt, powerful, understanding that, powerful. The Great Migration is all of us moving around each other, powerful. That's powerful. That's powerful. This is what I tell people.
Right now, this is powerful. We connecting though. We in different areas, so that's
Yes.
even more powerful. We use this technology to better and advance ourselves,
So,
to grow.
like I said, we right here, man, and it's just an honor to be on social media because it connect all of you. And as we continue to get our brick and mortar again, because that's what we working to, so people can come together, because that's what men do. You know, we welcome everybody at the BBT, all backgrounds, especially if you understand the higher, if you connected yourselves to the higher understanding, which we all should. We right here. From love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And with that, I say Islam, Shalom Alaikum, peace, 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 Hotep, El Rahman, Ya Muhammad, Ashe, peace, 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 peace. Brother Rory Calhoun, get with us. My Mufti Lamarck Barclay Bay will probably get back with you once we see your info. And anything anybody else do, me, I hope y'all join us. Who is this on here? Peace Puma Rose. I think that's a friend of the family, you know, that's on our Facebook page. I give honor to everyone. But as we going and as we proceeding, the level that we going on now, I think we looking for the truth. And we always said what? The truth will make you free. The truth is written. The truth is right in front of our face. What? The truth. And understanding who we are.
And you have to apply it.
Yes. And so
to your life.
I hope everybody understand what we're saying, man, and please continue to join us. Please support us. Get some of our books. Check out our companies. Ask some questions. Get this cipher big. Share it. You can ask us any topics you want us to talk about. We do that at the BBT. We have book club every Friday for the culture. We're going to start having scheduled biblical studies every Wednesday for the culture. We're going to have Quranic studies for the culture, which we always do. We have civics class, so the whole body can be built up. There's no reason not to support what we're doing, y'all. It's no reason. If we say we want something for us, if we say we here for the liberation of us, man. But the first thing we got to do is give up that black talk. I mean no harm to no one. I mean no harm to none of my brothers and sisters. Because according to science and law, black means death. It means silver mortis. Black was never used to describe ethnicity in the first century. The Willie Lynch was never real. Even when Dante said roots, when he said in high school they had him read roots, well, that was plagiarized from a European named Harold Colander. You see how messed up that is? I can just give you that right off the top and tell you, well, Alex Haley, plagiarized everything that you think roots from a European lower level Mason named Harold Colander in his pseudo book called The African. And then you have professors take that stuff and have you read it as what? This is what they call it in coming to academia, required reading. To read some to read some roots, to watch some roots, and I can just tell you it's fake. Well, you know, we still, that's our ancestors. You can't defend nothing that's fake. That is an oxymoron, and it's so disheartening to me as an educator. You know what I mean? To see how our people is woven to sleep. That's why I say, Dantes, I ain't on nobody's side. As we close, I give it from a misnomer black perspective. When we talk about Kwanzaa, and when we see where that come from another atrocity from your own brother, Ron Karinga. So the same thing we can charge somebody else for when we don't do the same thing in our house. I think that's kind of that don't make sense. If I say this fake and that's fake and say, oh, this is black power, this is black people, this historical. It ain't as old as him. Kwanzaa ain't as old, is only as old as Ron Karinga. And the AG doing it. So you look up who Ron Karinga is, see what the concept when he came up with it, and see where he came up with it, and see the date. That's how old Kwanzaa is. Now you call it ancient out your mouth if you want to, and I'm gonna tell you lying. And it ain't no truth in you. And anybody that's a true judge will be like, yes, you are lying. It's only as old as Ron Karinga, because that's his holiday he made up. Well, that man ain't telling you no lie. Fact check me. This is what I'm saying. And so we take fallacies and we take things that's not even real and try to make them real in our culture. Ain't that a bleep? Well, that fit us. Some Willie Lynch. Ain't no such thing as no Willie Lynch. I just said that. It's no such thing as a Willie Lynch. So with all due respect, Dantes, as we close, I love Farrakhan. So just by saying yes or no. So at the Million Man March, when most black people heard of the Willie Lynch thing, do you say Farrakhan saying that? Is that the truth or a lie? You on mute.
I would say it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot because it wasn't real. It didn't exist.
That's all we
I
said.
always say it's not in the Library of Congress. You can't find it. So,
You see?
unfortunately, with all due respect.
With all due respect. With all due respect. And so what I be saying, we can't point at one and say, oh, they ain't right, and don't do the same thing with your own house. That's how we accept the lie. That's how I said we accept the lie. Well, I ain't gonna accept a white lie, but I expect a Negro black lie. That's asinine.
That's called a theory because you can't prove it.
It's asinine. This is what I'm saying, nobles. We have to stand on what? On law, on doing things lawful, not playing no black and white game with these people that are trying to play on you. That like it's some race war. This what I'm telling you. All things that's not real. So we can't defend a lie. You can't go nowhere and stand on nothing and say it's a lie. You know? And stand on it and defend it in the court of law. They be say your whole defense is based on a lie. This is what I'm telling my brothers and sisters from love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I love you. So when we defend something like this in a court of law, your whole stance, your whole defense, Dantes, and that black is based on a lie. How you felt. And these people that say they love you, they have to be honest, maybe on their deathbed one day, and say, you know what? I just tried to get everybody geeked up and amped up. I know it ain't no damn Willie Lynch. I know it ain't real. I know it ain't no roots. Why? Because Sheik Goodman Bay told us.
Exactly. It's like going on trial, and what you bringing to defend yourself and why you say you black or whatever is the Willie Lynch letter.
Yeah.
And, the guy who said that his cousin was Kunta.
Yeah.
Roots. These are, they're proving that you are who you are. When it's in both scenarios, it's an outright lie. But you brought them to defend your honor as being black. And why black is real. It's real. It's beautiful. It's just not a nationality. In the UK, that don't serve as defense because in both of those scenarios, it's pseudo.
See? And that's all we telling our people. Stand up, be proud. My dad said, what's wrong with us? What we afraid of? Like we giving something, we giving what it is when we have these conversations. It's not barbershop talk. We want liberations. You say you want freedoms. You say you down with reparations. We are too. I'm saying you've been lied to, and with a simple research, what it's saying, I think we have courted you in the best way to at least research us, to at least come join us, to at least join this cipher. Because this is the only way. And like my mom said, ain't nobody teaching what we teaching. You know, on all religious perspectives, on all historical perspectives. And we have a full library with over 1 million books and documents. And this is no bragging, no braggadocious. So when a person come with anything, when they try to say, oh, you just think you smart, or they did, because the books. No, we don't think none of that. Evidently, when a person say that, they think that. They see the application, they see the life changing. Just if we had the right people that understand that vibration and putting a couple dollars to it, we can do anything that anybody else doing. Because the religious laws trump everything, and we taxes them for the federal government. And when you do things the right way, you share everything with everybody, and everybody benefit from being under a certain organization and a certain exempt status. Not me, not my family, but everybody. Everybody. When we operate like that. That's how this roll, and we are a community, like Malik said. So, with that being said, once again, man, we've been going for a minute. We out of here. Once again, I love y'all, man. See y'all tomorrow for workout and Sunday school.
Get us with that map here. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Nabuju Ali, Shalom Malakim, Ayah Asha Ayah, Islam, Amen, peace, light, and illumination.
Peace.
Islam.
Love y'all, man. Peace. Take us out.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
Peace.